What's up, everybody? I am Dana Carfaro. Today I want to review some form and movement patterns. So instead of a full length workout, I want to go over 4 exercises and form and cues and how I instruct the movements. You'll see these exercises in my Daily Dumbbell Sculpt 1.0 program on my fitness app. I'll link it here in the notes. So I might do these sporadically on my YouTube page just so you kind of go over the form of the exercise. In my app, you get a demo video and a written description, but it's always great in my mind to be coached through the movement too and see how my body moves through the progression of the movement. So I'm gonna go over that with you today. All right, the first move I wanna review today is the Goblet Squat. So the Goblet Squat is basically an air squat with load in front. So you're gonna be holding a dumbbell in front of you by the hex. So let's go over squat positioning first. For a good standard squat, your feet are going to be just outside your hips, toes slightly turned out, okay? And your first movement is going to be slightly back and down, and your knees are going to track over your toes the whole time, okay? You never want your knees to cave in, okay? The moment you cave in your knees, you're losing all activation in your posterior chain, and that's what we really want to hit. For me, I'm about 5'10", so sometimes when I go low into a squat, it does turn into a quad dominant movement, but let's be real, it's a lower body exercise, so just be sure you're moving correctly. Another thing I want to touch on is your breath, especially when you're doing squats under load, okay, meaning adding weight or resistance. You may need to make sure your trunk is tight. So I like to think about my trunk as like almost like a soda can. So if you go to step on an open, empty soda can, you can crush it, right? So think about this. You need to fill up this soda can before you go down into your squat to make sure your chest and torso stay upright, engage your core, so that way you don't put pressure on your lower back. Let's just go over real quick. So goblet is going to be right here. I need you to tuck your chin into the dumbbell and keep it nice and close to your body, all right? We're not here, we're not looking up, okay? Our chin is tucked. We're gonna go down into our squat, deep breath in, squat, exhale as we rise. So chin is tucked, tight tummy, feet are flat, exhale as we rise. You wanna think slow and controlled, power up, all right? The next move I want to review is the reverse lunge. So we're going to do these loaded dumbbell reverse lunges. You're going to have them in the farmer carry position. So the dumbbell's at your sides. I need you to think about shoulders back and down right here. So you're never letting the dumbbells be in control of you. All right, shoulders are back and down. Again, tummy's tight, just like that goblet squat. And you're going to work on your hip flexion first, to work that posterior chain, meaning a slight hinge at your hip, to lunge back instead of a knee flexion first. Anytime you do a knee flexion first, you're working your quad over your glutes and your hammies. So we're going to work that hip flexion first, back knee's going to kiss the ground, and you also want to focus on a vertical shin, meaning your knees tracking over your ankle, okay? You don't want your knee forward for these, okay? So we're going to be here. Then we're going to drive up through that front heel. I love that cue as well for people, so that way you're driving out of the bottom through that heel. That'll put the emphasis on your posterior chain. You're going to alternate sometimes, but in my app, you'll see sometimes I want to hit all reps on one side before we move over to the other. And that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to have my dumbbells at either side, right? My tummy's tight. My shoulders are back and down. My chin is tucked. I'm looking down, not all the way down, just kind of out in front. I'm not here, okay? My chin is tucked slightly, shoulders back and down, tummy's tight. I'm going to lunge back, kiss the ground, drive up. Lunge back, kiss the ground, drive up. And repeat for the desired reps. All right, our next move is the dumbbell standing calf raise. All right, just like that reverse lunge, you're gonna hold the dumbbells at your sides in that farmer carry position. All right, and we're gonna drive up on our toes and slow and controlled on the way back down. We're going to drive up, slow and controlled on the way back down. Okay, I like to go heavier for these. You give it a whirl, whatever feels good to you. Okay, you're going to face forward, drive up, slow and controlled on the way down. Drive up, slow and controlled. And repeat for the desired rep. Last move I want to go over today is the dumbbell deadlift. All right, so when you do the dumbbell deadlift, your feet are going to be underneath your hips, toes facing forward. The deadlift is a posterior chain exercise, meaning we're working our glutes and our hammies. All right, you're going to feel, as you get heavier, you're going to feel it in your lats too. And I'll tell you why, because when you pull your shoulders back and down away from your earlobes, as you should, in that starting position, when you pull from the ground, you're going to start to feel that in your lats too. Little note, when you do a deadlift, of course, you're not thinking about your knees probably, but I want you to, before you pull from the ground, watch my knees. The moment I slightly turn out my knees, I engage my posterior chain. So rather than letting my knees cave in or anything like that, I want to punch them out slightly. You feel that glute area engage, and then I'm going to pull from the ground. All right, you want to think slow and controlled on the way down, power on the way up. My chin's going to be tucked. I'm going to shoot my butt back. Okay, so I'm going to pretend there's a wall behind my butt, and I got to kiss the wall with my hiney. All right, you're going to send it back. It's a hinge movement. All right, my tummy's tight, shoulders back and down, chin tucked. Let's go. And when you do the dumbbell deadlift, only the front hex has to hit the ground, not both hex, okay? So we're going to be here, okay? We're going to tighten our tummy, shoulders back and down. I'm going to drive up, slow and controlled on the way back down, power up. I'm going to let those hex hit the ground, and then drive up. Let me go from the front for you. So my feet are under my hips, toes facing forward. I'm going to punch my knees out slightly, slow and controlled on the way down, power up. Slow and controlled on the way down, power up. Let's do one more. Send your butt back and drive. Nice, guys. Awesome. Those are the 4 moves I wanted to review today. Let me know what you think about these form videos. I could do them all day long, but my goal is to really go over the exercises that are in my Daily Dumbbell Sculpt programs within my fitness app. So check it out. You get 7 free days on me to get fit with us. Thanks for coming. I'll see you soon.